Hi, beloved. My name is Tamala Malay, your empowerment partner, professor, and psychic, and welcome to your empowerment place. So today we're going to talk about vital force energy or source energy or life force energy. All of those words are interchangeable, but we're going to talk about how they pertain to our human experience. Okay. So this is my unartistic drawing of the example of a person. Okay, we're going to call her Dolly. Okay, so most people who have an awareness of vital force energy or source energy also understand the concepts of grounding and connection, right? So we ground into the earth. And if you don't know how to do this really quickly, you just release roots out the bottom of your feet into the earth. You can drop your tailbone or energetically drop your tailbone down into the earth like a tap root, right? And so that would look something like this, okay? So if you drop a tap root down, right, it's going to go down and anchor you into the earth so that you're grounded. If you have roots growing out of your feet, okay, it's going to look something like this. And I apologize for the sound because I'm turning away from the camera. But this is what grounding is, right? We're grounding ourselves into the planet Earth, which is really super important. We can release things out of our body into the earth. We can release our thoughts, our emotions, and any physical energy that doesn't serve us, that feels incongruent, feels toxic. We can actually release that into Mother Earth through these roots, whether it's through our feet or through the taproot from our spinal cord. And that goes into Mother Earth. She can use that because Earth is transformative. She can transform that into fertilizer for herself, right? Because energy never dies, it's just transformed. So this is grounding. This is really super, super important. If you don't have a grounding practice, try this. Try it for 30 days and see how you feel. You'll notice you can be more present in a moment, that you can be more rational, that you can be more calm and peaceful, that you can have more access to truth, right? And remember, truth is subjective, but you can have access to what is true for you, which is really super important right now, okay? So that's the grounding part. Now the connection part is where we're connecting. I'm going to use a different color here. I'm going to use this color. This is where we connect to source, right? And the way that we do that is through our crown chakra. It's right here on the top of our head. And we open that up and we send our energy up through the crown of our head, out into the dimensions or out into space, however you look at it, to source or to the center of the universe. Some people go into space to the center of the universe and connect. Other people go to source up through the dimensions. Whichever works best for you is fine because they both get you to the same place, okay? It's just your own perspective, whatever works best for you. So this connection is how we're connecting to that source energy where we have access to divine wisdom, to knowledge, to understanding, and to be able to bring that, right? If we want to bring that knowledge and wisdom and understanding down into the planet, whether it's in our lives or just universally into the planet, this is the process of doing it. Grounding and connection, okay? That's part one. So now a lot of folks and the majority of us have been taught that this is all we need to do. Whether we're empaths, whether we're psychics or intuitives, whether we're regular old people, okay? doing whatever we're doing in our everyday life, that this is all we need to do. This is an important part of what we need to do, but it is not the entirety of the vital force energy system, okay? And there's a lot of different elements to this, so we're only going to talk about one of them in this series, okay? One of them is vital force energy, source energy, or life force energy. I'm going to choose to call it for this experience because it'll make sense to lots of people. Life force energy. Okay, so that's what we're going to call it. Life force energy. Okay, and just know that's the same as vital force energy. It's the same as source energy and all of that. Okay. Now, I want to make sure that you distinguish between life force energy and the connection to source, okay? Connection to source is information, and it can be an energy exchange where we're bringing in energy down into the earth, earth is sending energy back up, okay? That is a process, but that's different than vital force energy, source energy, or life force energy that we're talking about. Okay, so this life force energy is the energy that keeps us alive. Okay, it is the energy that is coming from source, our origination point, that is our vital force energy, which is the same as our life force energy, which keeps us alive. Okay. So all of us have a connection in our sternum area that is called, in the Akashic record work I do, we call it the God spark, but it's a golden umbilical cord-like structure that is, let's say it's right about here, okay? And it is an umbilical cord, okay? And this is our vital force energy that keeps us alive. This is the part where our sentient being, consciousness, awareness, the I that is us, is connected into our physical body, okay? It's very near our soul space. When it comes in, the energy comes into our sternum area, right? And then there's the heart chakra, and then there's the soul space, which is immediately below that, okay? So this energy is what keeps our soul nourished. It's also what animates our human body. So when we don't have this life force energy, our body dies. This is when this is severed, when this connection here is severed, we literally die. We're not in our body anymore. Now we continue to exist, we just exist outside of our body, okay? So hopefully that makes sense about why this is different. The vital force energy or the life force energy is not the same as connection to source, okay? Different. Now, why is it important to understand about life force energy? So as we're walking around and we're living life and we're doing our thing, right? We come into contact with all these other people, okay? There's all these other people. Sorry, I don't draw very well. There's all these hundreds of people that are out in the world, and they may be, let's say, this one's work, and this one's friends, and this one's society, and this one is our religion, okay? And, you know, there's hundreds of thousands of these people that we come into contact with all the time. Now, our societal human nature structure has been created through the millennium of being human, that we spend an inordinate amount of time exchanging energy with these other people. So what's happening is we're having an energy exchange from person to person. So this energy is going to come, instead of coming from life force energy, okay, it's going to divert, and it's going to go from this person to this person, and from this person to this person, and this person. These people, right? These people or societal organizations, right? They're going to exchange vital force energy that way. So how does that work? Beliefs. That's the number one way that we engage or exchange energy with religion, societal organizations, businesses, paradigms, things like the patriarchy, limitations, experiences of disempowerment are based on primarily our beliefs, okay, what we buy into. Then we make choices based on those beliefs. And every time we make a choice based on a belief, whoever instigated that belief, say it was this religion, then that religion gets energy, okay? Because it's this belief. So that means that, all right, so let's say we have 100% of our vital force energy, right? And we do, we have 100%. We have 100%. When everything is operating optimally, we have 100%. Now, ideally, we would like to think that we're getting 100% of our life force energy or vital force energy from source, right? From this connection that we have to our higher self, to source, to our own integrity, to that pathway of confidence and surety and empowerment and truth that is specifically ours, right? Ideally, that would be it. The human condition over these thousands and thousands of years has created lots of obstacles for that, because every time we buy into a belief and we give that belief energy, we're reducing this amount of energy that we're receiving from life force, okay, from source, from our higher self, from our integrity. You can't receive more than 100%, right? So if you are exchanging energy based on your beliefs, you buy into a belief, say from a religion, and you make decisions based on that belief, every time you make a decision, you're giving it some of your vital force energy, and it's giving back to you that belief. Okay, reinforcement. Now, the reinforcement is an energy exchange. That's the part that people miss. That's the part that we don't understand, is when we buy into something, we give it energy. Okay, when we act on that belief, we give it energy. That thing, that belief, is giving us energy back and reinforcing that thing, so that then again we will give it more energy. Make sense? So let's say this particular religious belief, and I'm using this just as an example. We believe it, we continue to give it energy, we continue to make choices that are based on it, that are not in integrity with who we really are at soul level, right? Say sacrifice, okay? Sacrifice is not part of vital force energy, life force energy, source energy. There is no sacrifice there, okay? But some religions have told us that sacrifice is required to be saintly, okay, to be good. Well, if you believe that, you can't get sacrifice from life force energy. Can't be done, doesn't exist there. So you're going to be getting it from religion, from the belief that you have to sacrifice, okay, in order to be good. So if you are sacrificing and you're taking actions to sacrifice something in order to be good or to be saintly or to be accepted or any of those things, then you're no longer getting 100% energy from vital force, from source, from life force, right? So let's say now that maybe this is 1%, okay? 1% of the vital force energy. So now you're down to 99. And then maybe society, let's just pick on the patriarchy, okay? Patriarchy is a societal structure that was put together for certain processes and human experiences to act out and perpetuate to keep some empowered and others disempowered, right? Every time you take action towards feeding that patriarchy, right, that system, that societal organizational structure, then you're giving it energy. So let's say you give this 3%, okay? All right. Let's say you give this 3%, because you make, of your day, you make 3% of your decisions based on the patriarchy. Now, to be honest, people are making a whole lot more. People are probably making 10 or 12 or 15% of their decisions. Depending on where you are and how long you've been working on it, you could be making 50% of your decisions based on the patriarchy, right? But let's just say it's 3%. So we got to subtract that over here. So now we're down to 96%, okay? And then let's say we have friends. And our friends have told us, maybe we're empathic or we're intuitive, and our friends have told us, oh, that's what witches do. That's mean, that's bad, that's evil. Jesus won't like you, right? Now that could have come from anywhere. But let's just say it comes from a particular circle of friends that you have. And so what you do is you start diminishing or closing down your gifts. I did this, okay? That came from my family, but I did that. And so the choices that you make every day, maybe 20% of your choices that you make every day are based on shutting down your gifts because you don't want to be evil or bad. You don't want to be a witch. You don't want to be shamed or pushed away or invalidated, right? So 20% of your choices every day are made to please your friends. So now we've got to take that away from here. So now we're only getting 76% of our life force energy from source. The rest of it is coming from other people and work. You know, we spend a third, if not more, of our day at work, most of us. So let's say we've got 35% of the decisions that we make every day are based on programming, conditioning that is not aligned with vital force energy, that's not aligned with who we are at soul level. And so now we're making, what's 35 minus this? So we're down to 41% of our life force energy that we're getting from source. And the rest we're exchanging with these different experiences. Okay, does that make sense how the process works? Okay, so now I'm going to give you a shocker. Okay, the normal, everyday, average person is not even 41%. It's less than half of that. We're lucky as human beings, based on all the programming that we have, all the limiting beliefs, all of the societal structures, all of the coping mechanisms, all of the karmic patterns that we're participating in, all of these things. We are lucky if we're getting 20% of our vital force energy from source. If we're getting pure, clean life force energy, 20% we're lucky. And here's the other thing. Now, we said we start with 100%, right? What happens if you continue to make these choices and continue to make these choices and continue to make these choices? Things are going to happen for you where you're actually going to have a deficit of energy. You're going to not have enough vital force energy. So instead of you having 100%, right? Maybe you only have total, right? Maybe you only have 80% total, and 35, let's see, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 49, 59, minus 59%. Okay, there's your 21%. So not only are you getting 21% from life force energy, but you're running a deficit, which means your tank is not even filling up. Okay, sorry for stepping out of the screen. So you've got a 20% deficit. It happens a lot. And when I say a lot, it happens to 85, 90% of people at some point in time. We are running not only on not life force energy, but we're running on a deficit of energy to boot. Our tank is not ever getting full. And when it is getting full, it's getting full of these exchanges that are continuing to keep us in patterns and systems and organizations and beliefs and structures and disempowerment that keep us fighting in the human experience as opposed to being the divine, vital force, life force energy beings that we were created to be, right? If we are running a deficit in our vital force energy, that means we don't even have our own life force full. This is going to be sickness, illness, disease. It's going to be chronic conditions. It's going to be inabilities to think, and so forth, right? We can't even get there from here. Not only can we not solve the problem, we can't even get out of bed to address the problem, right? And the stuff that we're getting still is not true for us. It's not life force energy. It is not who we are at soul level. So it's important for us to understand where we are making these energy exchanges that are not from life force energy and how to shift them. So that's what my new series of sessions is about. Okay, vital force energy, life force energy, source energy, whatever you choose to call it. This exchange that we're making in, are we really receiving this life force, pure, integrous, aligned with who we are, straight to source, bringing in all that we came here to bring in, right? That's fueling us and keeping us alive and joyful and thriving, okay? Or are we doing a whole bunch of this plus a deficit. Okay. So what the session does is I actually go in and check how much total life force energy you're running. If you have any of these exchanges, where they are, who they're with, what they're about, what the resonance is, and also check and see if you have a deficit in the same thing. Why? Okay, why you have a deficit and how we can resolve it. So the sessions, because obviously this is a mental, emotional, physical rewiring of our processes and how we go about exchanging energy with other people, right? And we can't just stop doing it if we don't know we're doing it, or if we don't know how we're doing it, or if we don't know how to stop and how to replace that energy instead with vital life force energy, with source energy, with our own integrity. And that's what these sessions are for. So again, what I do is I find out how much life force energy that you have coming from life force source, how much is in a deficit if you have one, where it's all going. And then we talk over a period of 4 months. We have one 1-hour session per month. And I check every single month to see how you're doing. And you go home with clarity on what is draining your energy, what exchanges that you're making that are inappropriate, that are misaligned, that are diverting your energy into a human to human exchange instead of a you to source exchange, which is optimal. Okay. So if you have any questions, check out the information below. And let me know if you have any questions. I would be happy to talk about this a whole lot more, but I don't know what you want to know about it. So your questions are really super important. I appreciate you, and I will talk with you soon.